Hey, good day, family. Welcome to another YouTube video with me, your host, Mathix Mahlangu. It's a Friday here in South Africa. And once again, Bulisa Sanbonani Dumelang Upsheni. Hello. Oof. Now, I gotta be careful how I place this video because I don't want anybody taking this as the all and be all. In this particular video, I'm going to be talking about the COVID-19 vaccine. So the title of this video is COVID-19 vaccine, mark of the beast or genetic warfare. Now, I want you to understand that these are my thoughts, these are my opinions. This is the Librarians channel. Everything that I say on my channel, don't take them as facts. You have to go do the proper research for yourself. You must look into everything that I say, just as much as I advise you to look into everything that the government says, everything that your parents say. You must look into these things and become sovereign. That's what this world that we are moving into is about. It's about us becoming sovereign beings. So now we're gonna get into this. The reason why I actually wanted to make this video is because one of my friends called me. He's like, bruh, did you hear that if you don't get the COVID-19 vaccine, you won't be able to go to work, you won't be able to do this, kids won't be allowed to go to school? And there's been people also talking about the fact that could this be the mark of the beast? Because they say that in the Bible, that if you don't, there'll come a time when they don't receive the mark of the beast, they won't be able to go to school or they won't be able to buy groceries and things like that. So people now are panicking. So I just decided to make this video about COVID-19 vaccine. And is it the mark of the beast or is it genetic warfare? And once again, I want to point out that these are my opinions. These are just my thoughts. We are sovereign beings, as I say, that you must make up your own mind. I just want to share with you on the Librarians channel. Take this even as entertainment. You could just listen to this and be like, that was nice to listen to, but I'm still gonna go get vaccinated. I'm not saying don't get vaccinated, please. Whoa, don't say that. I'm not saying people should not go get vaccinated, and I'm also not saying that they should. I'm a Libra. I'm in between here, so I'm not saying either one. I'm just in the middle pillar. I'm in the middle. I'm like Africa. There's the East and the West, and I'm just there, Africa oming. So now, let's get into it. First of all, let's start with what a vaccination is. What is a vaccine? What is a vaccine? Well, when we want to talk about a vaccine, I want to also tell you that it is similar to what we call a placebo effect. They work differently, but in a similar way. So there's cases also, let's say that somebody gets bitten by a snake. They can use the very same venom of that snake to heal you. So the venom is also the cure. It kind of works in a similar way that if you have never had a certain disease, they introduce, in a way, it's like they trick your body into believing that it has that. So they train your body to fight off the disease before you actually get it. So by the time you contact it, your body already has developed, the immune system has already come into understanding what that thing is. So it's like they're training your immune system to be able to fight the particular disease. It could be anything, not just COVID. It could be anything. So it's basically training your body so that when you do get in contact with that, your body recognizes it. So it's training of the immune system to recognize something that it hasn't encountered before. But my thing is now, my thoughts come in the fact that there's movies. I haven't watched that movie. There's a movie apparently that came out in 2013 where they talk about the COVID-19 disease or virus before it even spread worldwide in 2019. They already made movies about this. And I mean, we know that the world is tricky, man. Like, I mean, The Simpsons, for example, in 2001, if you go to Google, just Google Simpsons predictions. They predicted Donald Trump becoming president. Also Google cartoons that predicted 9/11. There's been many cases where cartoons before 2001, the blowing of the Twin Towers, the crashing into them, there's been animation that was made before that time. So you'd ask yourself, how do people know this? Is it prophecy? Is it ESP? What is it? So that's my thing with COVID-19, is that if there were movies made about something that is so world stopping, that scares everybody, could there be hidden agendas behind? Are conspiracy theorists really, are these things really conspiracy, or is there something that is going on behind? There's a verse in the Bible, I'm going to get into that a little bit later, that talks about the mark of the beast and the fact that people won't be able to buy, sell, go to work unless they get the mark of the beast. And that's what people now are fearing. They fear that this may be that. And unfortunately, I'm going to say that you are wrong on that, because the mark of the beast has been going on for a very long time. But as I said, that we're going to get into that a little bit later. So now, genetic warfare. Let's get into that. Let's talk about genetic warfare. War, you need to understand what war is. War is when people or two sides are in opposition. Usually when you watch animation, they always use the blue color against the red versus blue, or good versus evil, God versus Satan. That's that. So now, in understanding what war is, it's one side trying to conquer the other side. And humans, for as long as we've been alive, there's been conflict in humanity. There's conflict within ourselves because we are dual beings. We are beings that have both yin and yang within inside of us. So war is something that is very ancient. Very, very ancient. In fact, even atomic warfare is ancient. There's been reports, books written about the fact that there was an ancient warfare that took place in ancient Kemet or in ancient Egypt. In fact, Egypt is said that was destroyed by atomic warfare, because when they test the sands, they found radiation to show Horaiman something here happened in it's radioactive, in a sense that it shows that some type of nuclear weapons were used. Egypt, or Kemet, as it was originally known, was not always a desert. It was said to have been a very beautiful green, a forest. It was a forest. And then there was an atomic warfare that took place that turned it into the desert that we see it today. Which makes sense. I mean, how do you build a civilization in a desert? How do you build a civilization in a desert? Unless something happened in a later time. So now, we're talking about warfare. You need to understand that there is a spiritual war going on here in the world. There's a spiritual war going on. This war is ancient. This war is, it goes back to the stars. You know how they say that light takes time to travel? When you look at a star, you are seeing it as it was and not as it is. Exactly. So there were wars that took place in different star systems and in different constellations. The Orions versus the Sirians, a whole conflict between Pleiadians. That's a whole other conversation. That there's certain things that I won't get into, or else I'm going to need like 10 videos to just even explain this multidimensional, celestial, interdimensional warfare that is going on. But for me to just cut it short, there were certain wars that took place. And those wars, just as light takes time to get to Earth, those wars are now manifesting here. So this is the result of something that happened eons ago. It's not new. War is not something that is new. It is something that even the stars and even higher beings experience. So genetic warfare. Now, there are beings that are called reptilians. You know, they say that there's reptilians, and they say that these are very highly intelligent beings that feed off the fear and of the conflict and of the confusion of humans, and they want to keep us thinking at specific levels so that they can continue to feed and use us as a source of food. Because once we understand who we are, then they cannot feed on us anymore energetically. That's how they feed, energetically. I also want you to watch a movie called They Live. They Live. You can find it on YouTube. It wasn't there, but they uploaded it. I saw it like 6 months ago or something like that. So check out that movie, because there's this high I don't even know how to put this into words. There's this ignorance, high level of ignorance that is going on into the world, where we know that something is wrong, but we don't want to acknowledge it. Because the truth is painful. The truth is it's a sour pill. No one likes the truth. But there's a war going on, and that's the truth that people are going to have to now understand, that there is a war that's going on. So that's what I'm saying. Is COVID-19 genetic warfare? And we're going to link that to the mark of the beast. In China, there's been cases where the military developed. This is when the World War II, in those times, the military were developing certain ways of winning. So the solution was, let's attack people on a genetic level. Just as you can attack people on a mental level, you can attack them on a genetic level, which means you could spread a disease, or you could spread famine. You could create something in a lab that's going to turn the people that you are fighting against docile. You could spray certain things in the air that they breathe, and then it messes up with their genes. Just as there's cases where they say that there's GMO, genetically modified food that you eat, they have MSG, certain things that just dumb you down. There's a very intelligent, spiritual, super amazing Sanusi that transitioned not so long ago, Ubabu Muto. He speaks, in fact, about genetic warfare, where he says that there was a time when the people who were coming into Africa from the European world and from different places, when they came into Africa, Africans didn't know of certain diseases like smallpox and chickenpox and things like that, because Africans understood a way to coexist with nature itself. Now they say that when the Moors went to go civilize Europe was in a dark age, and there were certain diseases that were forming there because they did not have certain things that they called a kraal, or isbaya as we call it here, where the animals live. So they just mingled with the animals at the time, as they did not have certain knowledge of, or certain ways of being civilized were not structured there, until the Moors went in and went to go civilize them, and then even taught the people of that time medicine, healing. And even when you check in Europe, there are certain Moorish temples that are built there to show that this happened within the 1400s, to show that there was an African influence that happened in Europe at the time. And it wasn't just in architecture, it was in medicine, it was in astrology, astronomy, it was in a lot of things, So, and now understanding how to coexist with nature, when certain beings or certain people came here, they came with things that the African body or structure, or the indigenous people of this land and other lands, the Aborigines of Australia or the native Indians in America, that they weren't used to. So now certain diseases came into place, and now these diseases had to be cured in certain ways. So medicines and herbalists had to now come and find a way to fight off these particular invading diseases, because it wasn't just a physical invading, it was also a genetic invading. And now there were people who were like, "Aye man, we can use disease as a way to be able to conquer a people." So now there were certain scientists who created in labs, and I'm jumping in between timelines here now, that in the time of war they were like, okay, we can create certain illnesses that can wipe out people. Even AIDS was created in a lab. Man-made disease to reproduce, we afraid. Common says that in one of his poems, Def Jam Poetry Jam. Well, Def Jam Poetry, when they used to have those, I used to love those. Common says that in one of, I love that line. It's like, man-made disease to reproduce, we're afraid. And they tell us that AIDS is from God. Really? I mean, come on, guys. Don't try and trick us here. There was a movie about Ebola. And then the next month, Ebola broke out in Africa. So there's people that know. There's people that know somehow, and they make these movies. So that's what I just want people to think about. How do these people know? Do they create them in these labs and then they just give them to people? Is this genetic warfare? And why would you want to keep people enslaved? Well, let's get into it now on a biblical level. In Revelations 13? Revelations 13. Verse 17, they say that that's where they speak about that people won't be able to buy or sell unless they have the mark of the beast. And that's what people are wondering. So I'm just going to show, let me read this to you. And I want us to read it together. So this is Revelations 13 right here. So now we're just going to go all the way to verse 17, which is where my thumb is. So that says that, so that no one will have the power to buy or sell unless he bears the stamp, the mark inscription, that is the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is room for discernment, a call for wisdom, interpretation. Let anyone who has intelligence, penetration, and insight enough calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, the number of a certain man. His number is 666. Oh my word, I hope my screen was... Okay, there we go. You want me to read it again? Let me read it again. So that no one will have the power to buy or sell unless he bears the stamp, the mark inscription, that is the name of the beast, the number of his name. Here is room for discernment, a call for wisdom of interpretation. Let anyone who has intelligence, penetration, and insight enough calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, a certain man. His number is 666. Who or what is the beast? Now, is COVID-19 genetic warfare, or is it the mark of the beast? First of all, what is the beast? The beast, when they talk about 666, they are talking about the body. Now we're gonna get deep here. Let's go. The beast is the body. Your body is the beast. It is the carbon. It is the darkness within itself. Carbon is black. Diamonds are created from coal. When coal undergoes heat and pressure underneath the earth, it turns into a diamond. So this is the beast. The beast, carbon, is 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. That's the beast. They say that it is the number of a man. Which man? This man. You. Not just one man. Not that there's going to be a president in America that's the beast. No, you are the beast. This is now you having to come into higher intelligence and stop the projecting of satanic forces on other people and understand that the satanic forces are nothing but lower energies of the lower you, the lower man, the lower testament, the law. Just as Jacob wrestled with the beast in the Old Testament, tester being body, you must wrestle with the beast. When did Jacob wrestle with the beast? He wrestled with the beast in the nighttime, in the darkness, within the carbonite body that you must now turn into 777. You must now turn this and alkaline it through what? Alchemy, transmutation, spiritual transmutation. This is the beast. Carbon, darkness. 666. It's a number of a man. Jacob wrestled with what? A man all night. And when he finally overcame the man, he was changed into who? Into becoming Israel. Just as Paul saw a flash of lightning and became blind, and then he gained the name of Paul because before that he was who? He was Saul. He who what? Persecuted God, or the people of God, which is what? Nothing but his higher self, his own higher intelligence, the divinity within himself. When you do not understand the divinity within yourself, you are persecuting God. For are you not created in the image of God? So now, the mark of the beast, or the vaccine that they speak about you getting, and then now that's the mark. No. Though you've already been marked. You were marked the moment you were born. Now, the vaccination, the soda drinks, the pollution in the air, all of these things contribute to the mark of the beast. Because understand, when you put something in your body that is not natural, when it lowers your consciousness, it just keeps you enslaved within the focus of what the body wants. The lust, the jealousies, the envy, the I want, because this is the material version of you. You have a spiritual side of you. You are a twofold being. You have a physical body and you have a spiritual body. When you focus here, that's why they say you pay attention. Your attention is the most valuable thing in existence, because where you are focused is what you will become. As a man thinketh, so is he. So now, when they are talking about the mark of the beast, if the vaccine of COVID-19 is going to lower your consciousness. Remember I said that Ubabu Credo Muta spoke about the vaccination. He says that when the people from the north came into Africa and they were vaccinating people, there were certain seers who saw, prophets, shamans, were like, this thing is going to lower the consciousness of our people. So basically when people got vaccinated, all of a sudden they were not able to see into the spiritual realms. They were not able to see with the first eye or the third eye or the spiritual eye, the illuminated eye. So now, Ubabu Kredomuta also speaks about the fact that they were just like Bashabumtoana with something, and then when they came to check, they would say, no, the child already was vaccinated. Because the vaccines at the time, they were lowering the consciousness of the people. They were shutting the spiritual eye. So, vaccine, all of a sudden people couldn't be able to perceive and to discern, and also to be able to tap into the spiritual realms. So this is not new. This is something that has happened before. As I said, these are my opinions. It just needs your own discernment. These are my thoughts. I'm like, Could there be people who don't want us to know who we really are? Could there be people who have a lust for power, who want to control us? Could there be people who are trying to take things that were said in the Bible and actually now actualize them in their own way? Because the Bible is only talking about your body, and your body is the whole universe manifest. So your body is everything. So there could be people who now do not understand, because the knowledge that they were given was not given to them accordingly. It was rather stolen. So now they try to actually make the mark of the beast. The fact that if you don't get a vaccine, you're not going to go into school, or the fact that when you do this, you're not going to be able to go buy But the way you can counter that is for you to understand that you've been marked a long time ago. You've been marked when you were born. You've already been marked. You've already been marked. Now, I want you to think about the fact that this pandemic or this virus was known before the world knew about it. So was it created in a lab for certain reasons? And why would people want us to get vaccinated when there were ancient prophecies that spoke about a spiritual awakening that would come, that spoke about a people that would come into the understanding of knowledge and love? Because understand that when people are in a state of love and abundance and giving, the system will collapse because there's no room for greed. And if you look at nature, you'll understand that nature is abundant. One watermelon has like, 1,000 seeds. So from one watermelon, you can plant 1,000 more seeds. You know, you could have 1,000 more watermelons. There's no need for you to sell that. But if you want to keep a system going, then you have to create lack. Lack is created. It's not natural. Lack is created. And you create lack by the lowering of intelligence. When you lower people's intelligence, when you put them in a state of survival and fear. So what is basically going on in the world is problem, reaction, solution. So there's people who give you a problem. They create the problem. And then you react, and then they watch you react. And once you've reacted, they come up with a solution. Say, okay, no, here is the solution. Now, oh my God, thank God there's a vaccine. What if it already existed? You know, these are just things that you just need to ask yourself. Mark of the beast. But you've been marked. You are the beast. Is this genetic warfare to stop an awakening that was prophesied thousands of years ago? Huh? Is it? I don't know. I'm not saying it. I'm asking you. You tell me. Could you be asking yourself that, hey man, is there more to life than my job? Is there more to life than me doing the same things every day? Oh, are you asking yourself that? Could there be a reason why you are asking yourself that? Could there be people who are trying to stop that? So these are just the questions that, I'm just asking myself, and the thing that you need to ask yourself. I think you just need to ask yourself. So warfare is real, guys, and it's spiritual. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities. That's it. This is what took place in the stars, and it's now manifesting. But what's beautiful is that we won the war in the stars. But I don't want to get into this topic because now we're going to get into a conversation of timelines and dimensions and different bodies, and it's gonna but we're just focusing right here, right now. Could be, or is the COVID-19 genetic warfare? Could it be genetic warfare? A way to wipe out a population? I don't know. Why is Bill Gates talking about we need to reduce the world's population by at least 3 billion? Who are you, Bill Gates? Who are you to tell us that we are a lot? The earth hasn't said we're a lot. As I said, bro, one watermelon can have 1,000 seeds within it. There's more than enough to go around. There is more than enough to go around. When you think about it, no one should be starving. There should be no hobos and homeless people. This is something so new. And in Africa, we knew no hobos and homeless people back then. Man, there were fruits everywhere. Bananas, and you need to pay rent. Or you pay rent and... so... As I said, these are my opinions. So I just wanted to talk to you about that. These are just my thoughts. So this is where I'm gonna end this video. I was biting my tongue a lot in this video because I'm walking on eggshells here. But peace, much love and light to you, all family. This is a very hard time that we are in the world. A lot is going on. I wish I could say certain things, but this is a time that you're gonna have to come into your own power and like think for yourself, become a sovereign man. You need to now begin to question things. You need to understand that you might be a victim of war. You might have been conquered. And did you know that in war, the one who loses, their history gets wiped and then they are given a new history? Even if it's false, because I mean, who cares about you? You lost. And there's another way that when you win a war, it's either you wipe out the whole population or you mentally enslave the people or you just enslave them. So what happened to the world was that the conquerors chose enslavement, and in enslaving, the history gets wiped. And when the history gets wiped, you get a new mind, and then that programs you into a new state. So you're gonna have to now look back into history. You're gonna have to stop being comfortable in an illusion. Ignorance is bliss, so they say. So maybe it's time that you get out of this ignorance and begin to open up and bite this and eat this very painful sour truth. Take that red pill. What are you gonna choose, Neo? You could live the comfortable life as Mr. Anderson, or you could eat the red pill and then like go deep into the rabbit hole. It's very scary to go into the rabbit hole, but once you understand and you feel intuitively what's on the other side, it's worthy, because you are worthy. You are a free being. You are not created to be enslaved. In no way did the Most High want you to be enslaved. But the Most High will allow you to go through challenges, because challenges are what are going to make you stronger. Challenges are what are going to make you the God, or turn you into the diamond that you really are. It'll allow you to experience that. Even if you don't do it in this lifetime, you are an eternal being. You will do it in the next lifetime. If you fail, then you will do it in the next lifetime. You are an eternal being. And I promise you that you will remember. You will remember who you are. You will know who you are. It is inevitable. It is inevitable. You can't kill consciousness. You can't kill that which is untangible. You can't kill that which is unmanifest. You are that which manifests things that are manifest. All of this is you. You are manifesting this. You give things form, just as you gave yourself form. You are much greater than you think. You just need to remember that. Like like when Neo met the Oracle, Neo said to the Oracle, "Are you?" What did he say? It was right here, and he just ran away. I think he asked the Oracle if she's part of the Matrix, and she told him something that you already know why you are here. You already know the truth. You already know the truth. So you just need to find out. You just need to now accept the fact that you already know and just bring it to the forefront of your consciousness. You need to become the hero. You need to become the one. You need to become Neo. Peace out, family. I love you all. Stay safe in these times. Well done. Well done to you.